It's an absolute pleasure to be back here again. It's been a while since our last one.
Exactly. That's what I was just thinking about. Give us 2 more minutes till our audience is warming up because we always love a very nice active audience and chat box.
Of course.
So there are a lot of people today from so there is one participant from Spain. I love that. One from South Africa. Couple of
Hola.
people from all parts of India. And I'm sure they are also looking forward to this amazing webinar. So am I. With this, we have one poll, everyone, because you are introducing yourselves. I'm going to launch the poll. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see it and do answer it. It helps us curate a better webinar for you every time. There are 3 simple questions. Just click on the answers that you know. So, Anhad, how have you been? I hope COVID is not catching up on you now.
No, I've had it so many times that even if it does catch up, it's just going to be like regular sickness now. But around me, so many people are getting COVID. You can only build up your immunity till a certain amount. After that, if you get COVID, you get COVID. You just got to take the necessary rest and
That is
recover
so
well.
true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because like
I
now it's like a basic flu, I feel. It's just getting there now.
Yeah, you can't really contain something which is so transmissible. So it's best to just raise your immunity to a level where even if you do get it, you can recover faster and better.
Absolutely. And I hope everyone in our audience is also doing well. Because we've been hearing a lot of people getting sick, and please, I hope no one's getting very sick around. Um, so with this, I think a lot of you have answered. We have 51 participants who have answered. I'm going to just keep it on for 1 more minute and then we'll start our webinar, of course.
Yeah. So Shivani, earlier times when we did the webinar, I've always appreciated what you guys are doing. And the last call that we had, I'm really looking forward to everything that you guys are doing. I think it takes not only great thought, but just an amazing intention to deliver so much value to an industry that needs it so much. I've been part of this industry for the last 11 years. It was something I got into when I was 19 and, 12 years now. So I got into this when I was 19. And back then there was so much of trial and error and figuring things out and there wasn't a dedicated source or a body that you could just get the information through, because back then even the internet wasn't so freely available, the knowledge in the internet.
So true.
But today, when there's so much abundance of internet, there's nobody putting out the right information for this industry individually. There's a lot of scattered information everywhere. Even through my company, we guys do a lot of educational products for small to medium restaurant size owners, and we do a lot of service products for them as well. But in the educational vertical, I feel that...
Welcome to Petpooja's another new webinar with Foodpreneur series. Today's webinar is basically all about unlocking growth of your restaurant in the best way possible. Before we start, I want to thank, first of all, each and every one of you, our speakers, everyone who are a part of this beautiful community, where because of you and your motivation, we get that feeling that we have to bring a better person, a better topic, a better thing to present you every time, every week on week in this webinar series. Before I start, I also want to apologize for rescheduling our last webinar. Of course, our next webinar was going to be with Kabir, but unfortunately, he got COVID, so he couldn't be a part of the webinar. But you can imagine how beautiful the community of our speakers is. We reached out to Anhad telling them that, Kabir can't step in right now. His webinar was supposed to be 2 weeks later. And he just said that, yes, in 2 days, he's going to do it. And now he's there with us. He made his entire presentation, his entire speech, what he wants to contribute to all of you with the best knowledge. So I would want a big thumbs up or a clap or anything like that for Anhad too, for being such a big champ in sport, for stepping in such a small time. So thank you so much, Anhad. It really means a lot. And big thanks to everyone in the community, to be honest, that you guys and the backend team of Petpooja who help us do this. With this, enough of the chattering around, and we're going to start and get right into the topic, which is going to be around unlocking rapid growth, understanding marketing, and basically how do you scale your restaurant from a certain point. Of course, we have Anhad today with us. Of course, he doesn't need any introduction because this is his third time with us here. Before, he's done a lot of webinars on finance, marketing, and understanding particular segments of growth. And today he's here to share more and more knowledge about the same sectors and including few more topics. So Anhad, with this, I'm going to give you the stage. And why don't you introduce yourself to the community? Because I think you can do the best justice ever right now.
Sure thing. Thank you, Shivani. And it's an absolute pleasure to be serving each one of you. And within an industry that's literally something that I have as my first love. And a little about me. I've been a part of this industry for the last 11 years. I've been a founder, operator, and also and consultant within this industry. I have founded 4 different brands spread across 7 different locations. Some of them went on to win multiple awards. Some of them went on to scale into multiple locations. And we also had catering verticals and QSR verticals, and also cloud kitchen verticals under my 10 years of F&B experience. So after COVID came, I got a couple of offers to sell. I sold some of my products. Some of them I had to close because the landlords weren't very supportive. And I decided to follow a newer path, which is helping restaurant owners unlock the potential of the restaurant fully and take the business to the next level without spending much money. And I found my key to be helping people really take charge of their business and really to focus on the needle movers for growth and getting them to excel where they think that this is their platform till here. I usually, with the educational tools and the products, we take them to first see what is possible and then show them the strategy of how to make it possible. So my company has till now, within a few short months of, I think, 4 to 5 months now, we have serviced close to 18 different restaurants. We currently have some of the nation's largest restaurants as our consulting arm with them. And I love helping people see the best versions in their business for their own lives. And that's where we are today. We're here to discuss about how to grow your restaurant, how to become your neighborhood's favorite restaurant, and how to become a brand that people usually will always think of whenever they think of where to go and eat. So let's start the webinar first. First and foremost, I would like to just ask you a simple question. And I want in the chat column, just say 1, 2, or 3 when I ask this question. Are you guys new restaurant? For any new restaurant owners, just type 1 in the chat box. For any restaurant owner that's been operating the restaurant for a couple of months now, let's say 4 months to a year, number 2. And for any restaurant owner who's been operating his restaurant for more than a year, number 3. Just want to just kind of take a.
We have started getting a lot of comments. Quickly.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
So again, if you have to refresh, there were 3 options. One is planning to start a restaurant, number 1. Number 2 is those who have been operating a restaurant for a couple of months. And number 3 is those who have been operating a restaurant for more than 1 year, correct?
No, so number 1 is who just started the restaurant, maybe
just started. Okay.
He just started. 0 could be somebody's written 0, so that's the person who's going to start a restaurant. So 0 would be somebody who's looking to start a restaurant. 1 would be maybe the first half of the year they've operated in. Second would be second half of the year, and third would be above a year. So a couple of zeros, a lot of threes, very few 2s, and some 1s.
Mix between 1 and 3, rather.
1 and 3, yeah. The reason I've been asking this question, anytime I go and service any client, or if I have to host a seminar with a client, the first thing I need to know is how long have you been operational in the restaurant? This tells me a lot about the mindset that they're in, the problems they've been facing, and if they're stuck in their growth somewhere. So if you're in number 3, that means you've had the initial rush of people walking into your restaurant when you first opened, when you first launched, and then it kind of stabilized for a bit, and then you started chasing after the same rush that earlier so many people used to come and everything. And today you might be feeling like, okay, no, there is another level to the restaurant. It's just I don't know if or how to reach there. And the number 1s for me tells me that, okay, you still have an opportunity to experience that rush if you haven't already. And if you are experiencing that rush, how to sustain that feeling of that the restaurant's being packed, people talking about your restaurant always, and all of that. And if you're in number 2, which I think I saw 1 person at a number 2, that means you still have the opportunity to tackle your restaurant's marketing with some newer strategies which can renew that freshness within your community. So that's why we asked this question before we start. So Shivani, let's go to the next slide. Let me give them a little bit of foundation. All right. So a lot of you in this restaurant industry believe one thing, which is good food is very important for success. And if your food is good, people are going to keep coming in. Well, in today's market, that is simply not true. Good food is a great foundation. It is great to have good food and for people to talk about it, but people need more than that. We are in the business of creating and generating reactions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do an authentic audit with our business. And the way to do it, most people use a mystery audit where you send in a few customers, they report back with how's the food, how's the service, how's the ambiance, all of that. You see, this is a very myopic way of getting the feedback. The reason it's myopic is because you're only basing it on their parameters, on their it's subject to what they like, how they felt at that very moment. So there's one more thing that I add whenever I do a service is a benchmark test. It's very easy to do. Grab out your pen and papers. I'll tell you exactly how to do it. You guys can do it anytime you want. You basically take your best dish, whatever your best is. Let's say you have an Indian restaurant and your best dish is your butter chicken. Very simple example. You take your butter chicken, you invite a few guests in, you go on Zomato or Swiggy or any other platform, you see who are the top 4 other restaurants serving butter chicken in your locality. You order this butter chicken in from all the other 4 competitors, just for the sake of conversation, we use the word competitors. I hate that word, by the way. You order the butter chicken from the rest of the competitors, and you camouflage the packaging of everyone to be in a similar thing. Only you know which one is yours, which one is the other person's. And you place all the butter chickens in front of the customer and serve them with the naan and everything. Now, give them all a grade sheet. This is not marks out of 10, it is ranking. So if there are 5 players, you'll rank number 1 somebody, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like this, they don't know where the butter chicken is coming from. You're going to tell them that it's all from your restaurant. These are different variations we are trying, and we just want to see which one appeals to you the most. Then you take an average sum of whoever is ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you see where do you stand in all the dishes. So I did this experiment with a very large Chinese restaurant in North India, and we found out their momos, their dim sums, were ranking 5. Out of 5 players, was chosen as the 5th. So this is very important because sometimes we think this is our best and this is one of the best. But when we do this kind of an audit, we know that where do we stand in the marketplace. So when we realize that we are number 5 in terms of the choice of dim sums, we had to change the recipe off. And changing the recipe is not rocket science. You just take whoever's number 1 or 2 or 3, and you ask the chef to redo it, basing it on the similar flavors, and then adding your variations on top. So doing this audit kind of gives you a good foundation. It is not just about good food. You don't have to be number 1, not even number 2, but you got to be number 1, 2, or 3. If you're number 4 or 5, please go rework in the kitchen, because no amount of marketing is going to help you. If your food is repelling people away, no amount of marketing is going to help you. So why do we do this? It's so that when we do our marketing, our efficiency of a recall and a repeat audience is stronger. Otherwise, you're just spending a lot of money getting people in, they're eating your food. On your face, they're saying, oh, wow, it was amazing and everything. But behind your back, they're just like, it wasn't that good. This place is better. That place is better. So get yourself up to this mark first. Benchmark test is a sure shot way of knowing exactly where you're. Don't be emotional about this. Even if you're number 5, know that you're number 5 and go till at least number 3, if not number 2 and 1. Going to number 1, you won't win a prize. You won't win anything. So don't be fixated that I got to be the best. No, you do not have to be the best. You just don't have to be in the last few. So the same way, for service scripts, a lot of times when we go and do mystery audits and when we go and just audit a restaurant, we find that the servers are trained as being salesmen. Like they're just about pushing product. It gets irritating. It gets annoying. There's a popular definition of what is hospitality. The definition of service is bringing a person what they ordered to the table. Hospitality is how you make that person feel when you're delivering that service to them. You're in the hospitality industry. You're not about selling. You're about building rapport, building relationships, removing confusions, and affirming their choice. Sorry. So there's one popular script that I share. Like, I don't necessarily come and build the script for the people that I help, but I help them kind of develop a framework, and then they can fill in the addition, everything later. So the way we do that is by establishing and building rapport, is by finding things in common, finding talking points, asking questions, all of that. And then when a person is confused between a few things, or they're just confused in their head as to what they feel like eating or drinking or whatever, right? The job of the representative of your restaurant is to remove that confusion. And if they choose something, affirm their choice. For example, hi sir, what kind of food do you usually like? If I'm a host, if I'm a host of a restaurant, I'm going to ask them, what kind of food do you usually like? Can I know a bit so I can help you choose the best sellers from our restaurant if somebody's coming for the first time? And they say I usually like spicy food, something which has noodles, something which has. But the reason I'm saying Asian examples is because I've run mostly Asian restaurants for 10 years, so that's my cheese zone. But so they ask, we ask them, do you like spicy, non-spicy? What kind of flavors are you most interested in? Do you like Thai food? Do you like spicy Chinese? Do you like more dim sums? What kind of foods do you like? So then they reveal information. They don't necessarily give us the exact information that we like dim sums and all that. They sometimes say that, Chinese is not my favorite cuisine, but I like Indian because I love the tandoori chicken or something like that. So we know where the palate lies. So then we build up our conversation based on their answers. It's not a robotic script. It's about building rapport and removing doubt, right? So if somebody likes Indian, they're not going to necessarily go for Chinese. What you got to say is, have you ever tried Asian from our restaurant? You know what? We have some of the most experienced chefs cooking this dish. Let's say we do dim sum. Let's say we do this, and there's this dish which I think you will really like. So you're offering suggestions. You're not selling. And after that, they will come into the restaurant and they look at the menu. Make sure the server doesn't dissuade them from what they're already choosing. If they're already looking at something, that means they're 70% already convinced I want this. Most of the times, because the script we've gotten is we want 10 portions of fried rice being sold. So if somebody is looking at a bloody Hakka noodle, the server is going to go and be like, no, sir, you should try the fried rice. And you know what that does? It just removes that positive affirmation that person has when they're making the decision by themselves. So never ever dissuade, always affirm the choice. If somebody is going for the Hakka noodle, say, yes, sir, we have a great Hakka noodle. Would you like to pair it with this? This goes well with this. So this is how to kind of audit yourself, how you are, send people in, do the benchmark test, build a strong foundation. Service means hospitality. Food, everybody's got, and everybody's going to claim quality. Everybody's going to claim that they have the best food, all of that. But look, just do a benchmark test. Make sure you're in the top 3 and go forward with marketing. Can we go to the next one, please? Okay, so this one is very interesting because I learned this the hard way. Which industry are you really in? Like I said, good food is good, but not enough. So look, how many of you who are in the 3rd year of running restaurants, when you go and visit your restaurant, are people tapping their feet to the music? Are people enjoying the company they're with? Are people totally immersed in the experience? Are people taking out the phone and clicking photos of the food because it's come to the table, or is it because that food is here that I have to click a picture? I've been doing it because of that. So just give me in the chat box if you think your reactions are great. Are you creating and generating good reactions? Give me a thumbs up or number 1. Are we getting any chats? I'm not seeing any chats coming through.
I think, Anhad, the question, can we rephrase the question again? Because I also kind of lost it in middle.
Okay, so when we go and check out a restaurant, are people tapping their feet to the music? The customers, are they totally immersed in the experience? Are they taking out their phones because they're looking at the dish and going like, wow, what has come on my table? All of that. Or is it just people are ordering in, eating food, and just paying the bill and going away? So just a 1 or a thumbs up if all your reactions are well managed. Because this, guys, this is one of the most important bit of knowledge that I got during my time when I was running the restaurant is, look, you're selling food, this restaurant is selling food, that restaurant is selling food. 0. So guys, we need to be able to manage the reactions through whatever we are doing. If we are serving food, That food needs to get the people looking up, looking at the food and be like, wow, what is this? I'm going to click a picture. I'm going to share this. I'm going to talk about this later. If you're sending a piece of invitation or marketing out to someone, it should invoke some reaction. That's the whole point of being in any industry that has sales attached to it, is you got to generate a reaction from the person and then the wallet comes out. The rule of this industry is first comes the eyes, then comes the body, and then comes the wallet. Most people are always sensitive. Like, okay, if I price it this much, people are going to come. No, pricing wars are futile. They're death. Discounting is death. Pricing is already dead. So did you guys understand about what kind of industry are we in? Do you guys kind of understand where I'm going with this? Thumbs up, one. Okay. Thanks, Pawan. So we'll go to the next one, Shivani. All right, so you as a business owner, a lot of you are business owners, your role is not about cutting costs and shaving costs. All that is great. In my last webinar, I spoke about the restaurant finance fund does and all the fundamentals. Do that. That's very important. Make sure your pricing is great. Make sure your margins are good. Make sure your food cost is under control. All of that is great, but that's not your everyday job. What is your job as a restaurant owner? Now, more than 18 restaurants serviced. The number one thing I find is most restaurant owners are very comfortable diving into operations, diving into, okay, attendance, kaisi thi, how was this, how was that? What is that going to get you? They're so hell-bent on asking the report, the sales report from the manager. Okay, how many portions of dim sum did we sell this Wednesday? How many portions did we sell last Wednesday? How many portions did we sell last year on this date? What's that going to do? Your job is not, that's an accountant's job. That's the job of any auditor who's coming to check for costs and all these problems. The reason I'm specifying this is because I myself have found myself when I was operating my restaurants to get into the comfort of operations. It's when you don't, it's when you don't feel confident within, you go into, okay, let me find out everything that's wrong in the restaurant. Let me try and fix everything. Because, I've been told going every day to my restaurant, spending time every day with my staff is going to increase my sales. It's not, guys. Your job is three things. Number one, be a great leader. Cultivate a space where everybody can be a little bit more freer. Everybody can bring out the best versions. And, people are not always interested in monetary gains. People also want a place they can feel seen. They can feel that they're growing. They can feel appreciation. All of these things are more important as incentives than, the team having a service charge at the end or something like that. So your job as a leader is to cultivate a culture where your teams can bring out the best versions of themselves. Some things could be not according to you, and that's fine. That's the job of a team, right? Everybody gets together and collectively you decide things. You set some SOPs, which are hard guidelines. You cannot afford to go away from these. But then on a day-to-day basis, your job is not to micromanage people. Your job is to market and innovate. Two very simple definitions of marketing, because how many agencies are out there to get our money today as restaurant owners. You hire a social media marketing agency, you hire this marketing, that marketing. Everybody's just interested in quantity of work. They're never, ever going to generate revenue for you, because the problem is that you're dealing with half of them is going to be how many posts are you going to give me, how many this are you going to give me, and they're just there for cookie cutter. Okay, we got this person, now let's get to the next one. Instead, learn marketing yourselves. Be the best marketeer for your business. There are two things I'm going to explain about marketing. Number one, why is marketing important? Number two, how to get into the mindset of marketing, how to get into a selling mindset. It's very, very important to do. So, there was a restaurant when I was running Orange Chops. This is one of my restaurants. And when I was running that, there were 4 other restaurants, all with great food, but none of them displayed the menu out. None of them had great, hosts out there, and none of them had good recall audience. Within 6 months, guys, all of those restaurants were back to price wars, like, hey, get this for this much, 1+1, this, that. And we never did any of these discounts and all of that. It's only because marketing was the forefront of my work. And the way we marketed again and again is by developing relationships with people, and it's by keeping people engaged with our brands. Second, how do you get into a selling mindset? Look, if you build a great product, that means you put your heart and soul into it. But if you don't sell it, you'll be doing people a disservice of not selling. So when you push out your work which you build for other people, you automatically do a thing of service. So not selling is something like, if I'm looking for this, like for catering, if I'm looking for somebody who can take care of my entire event, and if I'm just holed up in a corner saying that, okay, when they come to me, I will give them my menu. If I'm not pushing myself, they will go to somebody else. So it's your job to push your product onto people. Second is innovation. Now, innovation is not very complicated. It is just finding more ways to add value to your client or customer in the marketplace. So your role as a leader are just these three. So I'll keep this a little short of here, otherwise I can keep going on this. We'll go to the next one. Right. So like I said, you got to fall in love with your business and your customer, and you got to get eager to serve them with your best foot forwards. Selling a service, and the purpose of marketing is to invoke emotions that make people interested and engaged with your marketing, with your service, with your food and everything. Okay, now this is something which I think you guys need to take into account. Next slide, Shivani, please. Yeah, so whenever we talk about marketing, it is not about social media. It is not about putting flyers out, putting coupons out. Marketing for me, it's always divided into three categories. Number one, acquiring new customer. Number two, getting people to increase the frequency of their visits. And number three is brand, like to spread out your brand and to kind of have people engage with your marketing and everything. So whenever I decide a marketing budget for any company, 40% of my budget and my efforts go into acquiring new customers. So it's like this. Look, some people may leave your marketing wheel and your universe, but it's always about keeping people coming in again and again. So 40% effort should be to acquire new customers. 40% effort should be to get people to increase their frequency of their visit, even by one time, that's great. And 20% effort should be in establishing brand power and brand awareness. Next one, please. Okay, so this is, guys, we will answer all the questions after the webinar. So forever, this is a rule I live by. It's a very easy thing to understand. Now, these are stats. This is not something which I've come up with, I've noticed, and I've just pointed this out. These are stats, not just by loyalty program companies, but by marketeers of restaurants all over the world. If you give a free coupon or a freebie to someone and you expect them to come the next time because you've given something free once, it's only a 40% probability that that person will come. If you give somebody a freebie the second time and you get them to come, it's still a 42%. But after the third time, if you get somebody to come in for the third time, the statistical likelihood of them coming in for the fourth visit is over 70%. There are two reasons for this. One, the brain always looks for familiarity. Like, what is familiar to me? So by marketing your visit 3 times, you kind of get familiar within their brain that this is a place that I go to frequently. This is a place where I have great service all the time. This is a place I have great food all the time. So that whole confusion in their heads when they're looking for a place to eat or refer a place to their friends and families, it goes away because they've already come to you 3 times. They've got exceptional service. They've got exceptional food. They've got a great ambiance, everything. So when you market it 3 times, the 4th time, 70% chance they're going to become your regular. That's why I've termed this forever. Okay, next one, please. All right, so let's say I'm an Indian restaurant. Okay, if I had so I'm actually doing this for a client right now. We have a restaurant in Noida and they have another one opening in Rajouri Garden. We're doing this exact step-by-step thing I'm going to take you through. You can copy it for your existing restaurant, new restaurant, whatever it is. You can use this and do this tomorrow. Let's say I have an Indian restaurant. Let's say the name of this restaurant is hypothetically ABCD, a bunch of confused ACs. And let's say we make the best dal makhani you've ever had. What are we going to do about this? First, around my restaurant, I'm going to positive picket all of these communications that the best dal makhani you've ever had by ABCD, a bunch of confused ACs, 24-hour simmer dal makhani, just positive picket it so that they get brainwashed that this is the place where I want to have dal makhani, or it just stays in the head. Second, I'm talking about offline, not online. I'm not talking about coupon flyering and all that. Those things have a very good ROI, but they're very, you have to have a large amount of flyers to go out to get a little bit of traction from them. So what I do is I go into all the places where I think my people, my customers are going to be, and I develop a relationship with them. I go and I have a very nice invitation prepared, a booklet or a coupon prepared, saying the best dal makhani you ever had at ABCD. I go and I say, hey, do you stay around here? I build a rapport. Notice what I'm doing. Do you stay around here? Like, yeah, who are you? Oh, I'm opening a restaurant nearby and I just want to get a feel of what the people around here like. I'm giving them the flow to kind of be easy about this. And I follow this up with, hey, by the way, look, we are very proud of our dal makhani, and I would like you to bring your family in to come in for dinner. This is the best dal makhani you've ever had. Please come in for dinner. The dinner is on us. Now, you and me both know the food cost of that food is not going to exceed 100 rupees. Dal makhani plus a naan, maybe something with chicken, is not going to exceed 100 rupees. In 100 rupees, you're getting that person's entire family to come in. That's the cost of acquiring a customer the first time. But this is not, we're not finished there. After they come in for the first time, they hand the coupon, so we know this is the first time visitor. The manager over there knows that I have to remarket the visit to them again. So the service is great, everything is great. At the end of the meal, the manager will go up because he knows that this is the first time customer. He will ask, did you like the dal makhani? Did you like the dinner? Yeah, I loved it. Great. Next time you come in, you've got to have a biryani. It's a 24-hour cooked biryani. This is a free coupon. Please get your family in. Please have the biryani on me. I would love for you to come in again. How likely do you think they're going to come in because they have that invitation? It's not a free coupon. It's an invitation to have a biryani with them. So 99% they will come in. If for some reason they don't, they're lost, but we've done our job. So they will come in. We will, again, give them exceptional service. The food cost of that biryani is less than 100 rupees. The whole family's dinner, enjoyed the service, everything. Remember, 4 forever, not 3. So the third time also, go up, the manager goes up and says, guys, I really love having you over. You know what? This is our owner's mom's recipe on this, let's say a gulab jamun, let's say a kheer, let's say a firni, whatever, some dessert. Next time you come in, please come and give me this coupon. That's on me. The statistical likelihood they'll come in after that is above 70%. So why does flyering not work and it doesn't bring about regular customers? Is because most of the time the flyers are one visit. And people come in, they have their food, they go away, they wait for the next discount, they wait for the next freebie, they wait for the next thing. But when you build it like this, you remove that barrier in their brain that this restaurant is new, this restaurant doesn't know what they're doing. All those questions go away when you give exceptional service and great food and amazing ambience and vibe to them 3 times. That place becomes familiar. In fact, one of the bars that I go to for drinks sometime, I have become a regular because of this exact same marketing strategy. It's not about the freebies. It's about the manager coming in and inviting me a couple of times. We're going to share a marketing budget later on this. Next one, please. Online. Everybody's on Instagram, I think. Everybody's restaurant is there on Instagram. Everybody's, throwing out posts, building content and everything. The first webinar that I did with Petpooja, some of the people contacted me saying, look, I need to do something which is free of cost. I need to do something which I can market right now. I have low sales. I just told them what I'm going to tell you right now to do. And every single one of them said it worked. It worked very well. So let's say you're an Indian restaurant again. You're opened in Noida. You go to Instagram, type out the location in Noida. Let's say Sector 45 Noida. Type out Sector 45 Noida. And you'll see a bunch of posts on the search results, a bunch of posts. There'll be about maybe 100 posts. Look at the top 5-7 posts. Look at who all are posting over there. Those are the guys who are frequenting that location. So those are the people around your location. Click on some of their profiles. Some of them may have locked profiles. It doesn't work with locked profiles. Most of them will have open profiles. Those 3 dots in the corner, press that dot and directly message them. Or even if you don't want 3 dots, directly message the people. Say, hey, you're in Noida. We're in Noida. We're coming up very soon. And listen, we love what you're doing on your profile. We love that you love all of this. Would you care for an invite for this? This is who we are and all of this. Build a rapport. Don't sell. Build a rapport with people. And if you want to put a call to action out, take one dish. Don't take a full menu saying 20% discount or any of this. Say, we have the best dish. We have the best XYZ dish. And we would like you to come and experience this with our family. When you come in, bring them in. Now, because you have established a rapport, they're already talking to you. They're already engaged with you. You're not just straight away saying, hey, you're in Noida, we're in Noida. Take this. This is our best. Please come over. Engage in conversation. And believe me, guys, Instagram is such an easy way. You can approach so many different audiences. In fact, in one of my restaurants in Select City Walk, I hope none of the other restaurateurs are on this thing because, yeah, I get some slack for this. I used to go to my other competitors' Instagram and I used to see everybody posting. I used to see everybody posting and resharing stories. So I used to see, for example, XYZ restaurant, somebody resharing, they used to reshare some of the stories, right? So I used to go to that person's profile saying, hey, yo, I love this restaurant as well. But listen, have you ever come to my restaurant? They will say no. They will say maybe. They will say yes. If they say yes, here's what I say. Have you tried these dishes? No, we've tried this, we've tried that. Look, I'm building rapport. I'm not throwing anything at them. So like this, I was able to sniper target my offer to the audience I wanted in my restaurant. And the conversion of this, you cannot automate this. You have to have an outreach program every day as a marketer for your restaurant. You need to set aside an hour in every 3 days to have an outreach program to get new clients. This is a free tool. So automating this is going to be a bit difficult. So the way you do this is you set 1 hour every Tuesday or every Tuesday and Thursday. You will spend 1 hour on Instagram finding 20 people you will directly message. Guys, the conversion of this is incredible. Out of, if you message 20 people, 16 to 17 of them will either come or they will respond very positively that, hey, you know what, we are not over there, we're traveling, but can we get our friend to come in? This person loves your restaurant. So this is a thing that you can just use right now. You don't need an agency, you don't need anything, but what you need is to build a rapport first and then throw out the right call to action offer. Next one, Shivani, please. All right. So, the way you become favorites of people is not by having the best food. It is not by, having the best pricing. It is by being a constant in people's life, whether it be through your marketing, whether it be through the product they're engaging with, whether it be through some knowledge that, other people talking about your product. So you have to keep this alive. There are a couple of things, in fact, after this webinar, if anybody needs to, I'll be sending over this presentation to Shivani and they can distribute it. There are a couple of things you need to do. You need to have an outreach program going every single day. Every single day, some outreach program of not just social media posts, but of engagement, of being part of Facebook groups, of being part of a community. To take one of the best examples is, no singer became really good just by that one song. It was consistent effort. So if you employ all these tools and tactics that I've shared with you, these are very few that I've shared with you. There are a lot more to do, but these are the easy to use ones. If you employ all these tools and tactics regularly, there are more chances you'll be in the forefront of your potential customers' mind when they think about where to order from. There was this one restaurant, it's a subset of another restaurant, and they were marketing very heavy. They were never throwing me an offer. They were never throwing anything. They were just repeating again and again that we love butter chicken, we love butter chicken, we love butter chicken. Like, it's just that, nothing else. So when I wanted to have butter chicken, when I felt like eating butter chicken, who came to mind? You think the regulars that I used to order from, or the guys who used to continuously market to me? Obviously, the guys who used to continuously market to me. So it's about that. Don't market discounts, don't market freebies, but market yourself as the best, as the authority on that one particular dish that your customer will absolutely love you for. People are not looking for something experimental and new always. They're looking for familiar. They're simply, in Hindi, I'll say this, जब भूख लगती है सबसे पहली चीज क्या आता है? क्या खाने का मन है? नॉट कि कहाँ जाने का मन है, क्या खाने का मन है? और फिर आता है कि कहाँ जाने का मन है, कि ये यहाँ पे मिलते हैं या इस रेस्टोरेंट में ये बड़ा अच्छा मिलता है, let's go there. So be the authority of a particular set of dishes, not a cuisine, a particular set of dishes, and keep marketing it again and again if you need to be your neighborhood's favorite brand and customers. So next slide, we'll just go through the entire thing once so you can just have a recap. Take a pen and paper. Number one, audit yourself. Without you having the right foundation, none of your offers will be met with a positive reaction. So go through your menu. If your menu is causing too much confusion, shorten your dishes. Yeah, there's no crime in having a short menu. There's a crime in a confusing menu. Shorten your dishes. It's fine. How many restaurants do I consult with? And first thing I see is 200 dishes on the menu. How many are selling? 8. Why do you have the rest of the 192? So shorten your menu. brand yourself as the best in that. Audit your food with the benchmark test. Audit your service to build rapport and not just sell food, to position yourself as the best. When we cross the road, we look left and right. When customers enter your restaurant, they look at your entrance, they look left and right. What is the smell coming through? Is the wall peeled? Are the cobwebs on the walls? People look at these things. Thoda hygiene karo in the restaurant, and that's your foundation. So set a good foundation. Second, from understanding your strengths, find out an irresistible invite. Look, I'm not saying offer. Offer means discount. Offer means freebies. But invite. Invite is, hey, look, we want you to come and experience this. Please come in and experience this. So create irresistible invites. Third, build rapport, both online and offline. When you DM people, there is no need to push on the offer. Dosti karo yaar, make friends. That's how people trust. The best marketing is word of mouth. So if you get somebody to market for you, that's great. The only way you get somebody to market for you is if you become friends with that person. The way you become friends is establishing a rapport, building a connection, and then saying, yo, we have the best this in town. Please come over sometime. We would love to have you there. नहीं आएंगे कोई नहीं, दोबारा करो. That's called marketing stamina. पहली बारी में नहीं आए कोई बात नहीं. This is your job. It's your business. You need to love your business. You have to love your business enough that you have good marketing stamina to remarket again and again. नहीं आएंगे कोई बात नहीं, करो. This works. I've done this. I do it for many restaurants. It works. Number 4, market up to the 4th visit. एक बारी करके don't get lazy. दो बारी करके don't think people are going to change. You have to get them to be familiar with your restaurant. कि 3 बारी order किया हमसे delivery में, तो फिर वो दिमाग में बैठ जाती है कि हाँ यार 3 बारी तो nobody will think कि 3 बारी we've ordered, but दिमाग में वो होता है कि यार इनका खाना हमेशा अच्छा होता है, ये 3 बारी खा चुके हैं. So they've had it 3 times, so they will always think the food is great. Same way in a restaurant, they've come there 3 times, they will think, yo, it's up to the standards, we will enjoy ourselves over there, so they'll come. And the 5th, keep your customers engaged. Social media is not about the best looking post. It's not an art gallery that you need to show that, hey, it should look pretty. Yeah, it should look good aesthetically, but it should generate and provoke you to react to those posts. Your audience, when they're looking at you on social media, khane ki post, people are always looking at food posts. They're always double tapping it. They're always in their mind thinking, yeah, ye acha hoega. Make sure your posts bring about that feel. Make sure your marketing, it's not just about food. Expand your identity. To one of my restaurants, I told them, look, the food, you have 4 sections on the menu. 3 of them sell. 1 of them is a crowd pleaser. But we can expand your identity. In the identity, we expanded the identity, and their market engagement with the post went up at least 3 times. And it is just about tying up with IPL. Ho raha hai, this is our favorite team. FIFA, this is our favorite team. We're supporting these guys. Go Messi, go this, that. It's about engagement. Keep engaged with your community, and you will find that you become the customer's favorite choice. Whenever they think of kahan jana hai, ya kya khana hai, you will become the customer's favorite choice. What I've shared with you is what we do for other companies, and many agencies, they claim that marketing is just about posting on social media and everything, and this is the missing link. Right engagement means the right build up with the rapport and staying consistent. That's more important than throwing out posts again and again. All right. I hope you guys took some notes. I hope you guys take action from this, because knowledge is great, but if you take action, these are very simple to do things. If you take action, you're going to reap the benefit as fast as in 2 days.
So true. First of all, thank you, Anhad, for breaking down the entire marketing, growth, and the small points that we all ignore. Very honestly, when you were talking about, please excuse me, everyone, today, not the best day for us. But I absolutely agree with the point when I, as a user or a consumer, when I go to a restaurant, food, ambience, experience, music, it's so important for me. It's like when I go to a Mexican place, I love it when they play the Latin songs. It's like it makes me want to eat more and drink more of that kind of food. It kind of associates. When I'm going to fine dine, I like a nice jazz piano kind of a thing going around behind that. So I agree with you absolutely. And with this, Please put down all your questions. Everyone, we have 15 minutes for Q&A. And a couple of you have put down questions. Anand, I'm going to shoot it right away right now.
I love
Someone
questions.
asked us about marketing, where
Yeah.
what percent of your total sales should be allocated as your marketing budget? I think this is the base of every question for everyone. What is the
So
percent?
in the last webinar, it was finance funders. I shared if you it's supposed to be 3 to 5% of your expected revenue, not your current revenue, of your expected revenue. Usually marketing is an expense you account for before you open the restaurant, and you do account for the full year. Many people have seen they do, I'll spend 30,000 per month on marketing. No, don't do that. 30,000 per month kar rahe ho, so that's 3,60,000 rupees in a year. See which months will you have greater marketing output and efficiency, and un months may deploy more and deploy less in the rest of the months. So marketing needs to be strategized, not to be just kitna per month karna. It's 3 to 5% expected revenue, and also how to divide that revenue within your full year. Know when your marketing will have better impact.
All right. And if you had to suggest, adding on to the question, a couple of places where you should for sure spend on marketing. It can be online ordering, it can be IG, it can be anywhere. What do you recommend?
See, like I said, the marketing budget should be divided into 3 ways. Acquiring new customer, 40%, increasing the frequency of visits of the existing customer, 40%, and 20% on brand. I think by acquiring new markets, if you're a delivery or even a restaurant, you can advertise on platforms like Zomato and Swiggy. Look, I know the heat behind it. Every restaurant here is like commission zyada lete hain. ठीक है, sale तो दे रहे हैं ना. They're getting people to your restaurant. Exposure तो दे रहे हैं ना. So those work really well. Second, I feel if you just engage with a community manager, if you hire a community manager inside your restaurant who's actively engaging with people on a day-to-day basis, messaging them and reaching out to them, doing the outreach program on your behalf, that will be a great asset to have. And the third is, please, it's not very expensive, but just strategize on generating good content, because it's not about, ki kitna frequently karo, but it's about good content. Kitna content, I mean, I'm sure you must be on Instagram at least 2-3 hours in a day minimum. Some of my friends are on Instagram 8 to 10 hours a day. You're looking at so many things. You got to be good enough to, be remembered by. So spend on these 3 things. And fourth, I feel, say, loyalty program is not a must-do for me, but spending through my food budget, through my food cost, or spending through these things on marketing, that's usually something that I've always done. Like every week, I'll take out with my clients and tell them, yo, we need 10,000 rupees worth of free food. We want to bring in these many new people. Itna humko budget allocate karta. Or sometimes if a larger client, multiple stores, it even goes up to 2.5-3 lakh rupees per week also sometimes. But they have 45 plus stores and different locations and all that. So yeah.
Okay, super. So there's one more question around your views on getting on board with Zomato Gold and Swiggy Dine Out. Do they really help our customers get habitual to these discounts? So what are your thought process? Because I think you did answer part of that right now, but if you would want to say about it.
Zomato advertising, I would definitely suggest, because people are sometimes there just to browse ki kya naya hai and all these things, unke collections mein and everything. Okay, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. I do not like Zomato Gold or any of that. The reason I don't like it is because you've already made a choice. What restaurant will you go and eat to? And then most of the times I have found, not just me, but my friends and and some of the customers that we send on mystery audits and all, we've asked them these questions. They go to a restaurant after they make a choice, ki yahan jana hai humne, and then they check Zomato Gold, is it there or not? So it's not about acquiring new customers. I feel it's just discounts. It's just discounting, and I don't like the discounting game. Not just because I don't like it. I love getting discounts. I love it, but I don't feel it works. So Dine Out and all this, I've used it in my restaurant. I've been guilty of using them in my restaurants as well, but we have not kind of sworn by it and not kind of had that as a top priority. In one of my locations, which was a very, very nasty location, it was heart of South Delhi, but a dead mall. Unfortunately, we had to use all these to just get some people exposed. But then we shut it down after we reached our footfall expectation. Then we shut it down as well. So maybe
it makes sense. It makes sense. It's just for the brand recall and everything. Once it's there, you are trying to reduce that entire part. So there is one question, very interesting question, which is in 2 parts. First is, if we are targeting new market, how to do the market research or product fit for that thing. For example, if they're trying to launch a new product into the market or a new cuisine into the market, how do you usually, what are your tips for this person?
I love this question. There's a secret hack that I always go by this. Look, the menu's got to have at least some amount of familiar favorites and some amount of experimental besties. Maybe it's best or not. That only after you have certain sales will tell. Sales is the neutralizer for everything. Tumko lag raha hai your food is great, everything. Let me see your sales, right? So what I do is I go onto Zomato. I go onto all the restaurants in that region wherever I'm supposed to open the restaurant, and I look at all the restaurants above a certain number of rating, and they have that thing called best sellers in front of it. That means these are the things the customers are choosing more frequently than not. So ek to best sellers ka ek page bana lo. Choose a few best sellers out of this so that you know these are the crowd favorites that are always there. Now, if you want to experiment with a new cuisine, I should have a great handle on this because I launched Malaysian cuisine in India and we scaled that to 3 outlets. We were the first ones in India to do that. And it was hard, but it was fun. So what we did was we opened a smaller, we opened it on a smaller segment, took it in a food stall. We invested fully in branding, fully in the experience zone. And we took it to a couple of food stalls before, not to see the sales, but to see the response of real time, how the product is being received. After that, we got a validation that okay, these flavors work. Then we made a menu, but within that menu, guys, we still had familiar favorites of Asian foods and then Malaysian, because even Starbucks is selling tea. Yeah? In India, even Starbucks is selling tea. So don't think that you are this way. Your sales will tell you how each product performs. When we do a menu matrix, it's a BCG matrix. You have some star dishes, some dog dishes, some fish, some cats. The star dishes are the one making you a lot of money and people are ordering a lot. The dog dishes are the one that you need to pull people in, but they're losing money. But Zomato pe jao, you'll see best sellers. That's being ordered the most. And वहाँ पे कोई restaurants में लिखा भी हुआ है 4,000 orders sold from this restaurant. All of this, so just copy paste. Yeah. Don't think too much.
I mean, this is a perfect hack. I think
Yeah.
Subconsciously I do that to order my food. Yes, as a consumer. So it makes a lot of sense that as a restaurant owner, why are you not using that?
There's so much out there. I mean, when people sit with me, honestly, I'm just like, you have so many questions. Can I just solve them all for you, but in one day? They're like, yes, I'm like, just give me one day, I'll solve them all. Just after that, just do it.
No, and this is superb. So there is one same guy, Pavan, actually asked a question, and I hope, Pavan, that answers your question. Similar question, but he had it on marketing now. Then how can we do marketing for subscription model, and how do we design a menu for that subscription? For example, a subscription-based meal.
Now, there's a client of mine, and I think I got through the client from Petpooja only. Oh. Beautiful guy, amazing guy. We are still yet to give him the whole thing, but they have a subscription model. So the first thing we dove into with the subscription model was, how is the communication being placed? Why would somebody subscribe to you? Look, good food is not enough, right? So who asked this question right now?
Pavan.
Pavan, what kind of you have? I'm supposing you have a nutrition brand if you are going into a subscription model, right? Yes or no?
Pavan, if you're there, if you can answer this, so I think you can also personalize the answer for you.
Yeah, salad and healthy food. So yeah, why would somebody order salad and healthy food? That person needs to be first motivated to be healthy. So your content needs to be positioned in a way that the person looks at you and feels motivated to live a healthier life first. Your content is not about food, then your content is about lifestyle. So number one, position your content with your potential consumer base, that you are the authority. If you want to live a healthier lifestyle, look, one, we will give you the food, but through our program, you'll feel motivated. Through our content, you'll feel motivated to live a healthier life. Then you'll be in the forefront. Second, pricing. Pricing is very subjective. Yeah, you can also break up the offer into number one, if you want a consultation with us on what kind of this thing, we'll give that free of cost. And then we'll tailor-made it and build a thing. So there's many ways you can play a subscription. The best way I feel, because I've never launched a subscription brand, some of my clients have that. The best way I feel is to break up the subscription, not in a full month's this thing, because people get bored of the same thing again and again, and do maybe every dinner or every breakfast or every lunch in a week. Start with the entry level and then take it up as and when your audience evolves with you. Take it up to a full month, 6 months, 3 months kind of thing. So start with a lower entry point and then keep it going further and further. You know how you have like websites, free mein aapko ye sab milega. If you go for the plus, you'll get this plus this, and then for the expert, you'll get this plus this plus this. So build it up in 3 different entry points and meet your customer where they are. But content is king when you want to subscribe to a business. I want to be attached to this universe. That's why they go in with whatever product you're selling.
Makes a lot of sense. I think, Pavan, I hope that answers your question. I really hope that does. And I really like that thing because I eat a subscription-based meal on healthy lifestyle, and they also give us free consultation. And that is something I really like because they track our behavior after that. That you've been using or eating our products since such a long time. Do you feel a difference in
Yeah.
bloated? Yeah, you're not feeling bloated. You're feeling light. You're feeling active. So basically, they do a research on that and then they provide you the meal. Probably they were going to provide me the same meal even before that. It
Absolutely.
makes it fancier that, oh wow, someone's taking care of me now.
They just make you feel important, and they make you feel that we're tailoring for you, we're taking care of you. And that's good. Yeah.
And trust me, it helps because they are getting in your head then. So one question someone had on how to automate everyday tasks and to micromanage and to avoid micromanaging in terms of restaurant automations and things. So and because a lot of automations, because they're not automated, they do micromanaging, they waste a lot of time. Please come to Petpooja if you don't know, if you aren't a user. I can say that out very proudly because Anhad is also a Petpooja user, and that's how we connected in the first place.
Not only me, almost all of my clients use it. And look,
Yeah.
Petpooja is not asking me to say any of this. Look, before Petpooja, I was using some other software, but it did not give me a lot of control over what I wanted to change. I couldn't customize my own menu if I wanted to upload a menu. Like if I had a special menu, I couldn't do that. But with Petpooja, everything is possible. If you want to get out of the operations things, number one, have softwares that allow you to get free from ops. Number two, set SOPs that allow you to keep benchmark checks in place with all your staff so that they know. And SOPs need to be written, guys. You cannot go into training, be like, from tomorrow, I want you to do this and expect they'll remember this after 6 months. They're not going to remember this. You need to have your restaurant Bible, and you need to make it as simple as possible. A lot of consultants charge so much money and they give such fluff in that Bible. I'm just like, who the hell is going to read all this? Yeah. So make it very simple. Sit down a day and use all the AI available today, ChatGPT and all this. Make your service script manuals, make your SOP manuals, make all of that. Invest in software, which I think is a very, very, very reasonable software as well. How much are you guys going for right now?
10,000 rupees for the first year. That's like 800 rupees a month.
That's pocket change. Like that's nothing. So invest in software that gives you more control. And Petpooja is one of the software which I feel like so many of my clients, whether they have one restaurant or they have more than 50 restaurants, all of that, they use that. And when we also use it, that was just, the guy who came, he said, sir, we have this software called Petpooja. I'm like, okay, I'm not looking at any software. We said, ek demo to le lo. Demo ke baad I'm like, this is what I need right now. So yeah, invest in softwares, invest in reporting systems, build SOPs, make it easy. And the way you step out of operations is to step into something, because you as a human being, you need to feel productive. So you're going to go and work and call it work when you go into operations and do everything. Because you don't have anything else to go and do, you will dive into operations. Build yourself a marketing job description and build yourself an innovator's job description and go and do that. Put 2 hours, if you have more free time, outreach for every day. Do message 20 people every day. Get in touch with your Zomato reviews again. Do all these things. These are more important than making sure आपका server 5 minutes ज़्यादा break तो नहीं ले रहा. लेने दो यार. 5 minutes तो है.
So true. We have so many of our clients who come in and they're complaining about, of course, the work staff is the biggest problem. And sorry to interrupt before that, someone asked for recorded sessions. We send all the recorded sessions on our WhatsApp group, so don't worry about it. These webinars, previous webinars, everything are also there on our YouTube channel. So there is easy access to information everywhere. But that's so true. So many of our people just come and they're like, we are busy, we are essentially busy making this, there is this happening. And we're like, just stop that. You have a software, take 1 hour out, get trained again, learn how to use this, and just focus on basically customer relations and developing new menus, period. You shouldn't be focused on anything else after a point because you have so many people and you have softwares and systems and everything in place. But of course that needs to be in place, and I think Anand, we should definitely do like one of our webinars on making systems, because I think that is
Sure.
such an integral part of running a restaurant. Everyone wants to do everything because it's the idea of being busy. It's not true. I mean, you have to get out of those operations to make sure you actually start growing in your business. And I think that's there.
You can be a business operator, you can be a business owner. It's your choice. Both roles are available. Then why have you hired your manager and your chef and your service stewards and all of these guys if you just want to do their job? And
So
the other
true.
thing, guys, if you hire the work staff, listen, how much salary do they really get? I mean, in today's world, you can get a manager managing your entire restaurant for 25, 30,000 rupees a month. It's not a lot of money. So don't expect a lot. So if you want really good staff, give them room to be themselves. Cut their hours shorter. Cut the hours shorter. Have extra staff so that they don't feel the fatigue of coming in every day and all this. There was a restaurant of mine. We had 18 seats in it. I had everybody will give me heat for this. When I started off, I had 5 restaurant staff, but we were so overbooked and packed. But within the same time, our people were getting tired. We hired 11 front of house staff to manage those rush hours on weekend, and it was good because my parameters of finance were in place, so it didn't matter, right? So, as we like within one of the education programs that we do, we help build the SOPs, but more importantly, we help you focus on how to become better marketeers. Because if you're not growing your business, don't expect your manager to grow your business. He's not the one earning more money if your business grows. You are earning more money. And last webinar, I spoke about having a salary dedicated to yourself. Are you guys doing that or not? You एक महीने का जो छोड़ा salary अपने आप को देनी, and after that it was like, okay.
I think for that, they should again go revisit your webinar and actually listen to that on this entire topic about SOPs and salaries and everything. Basically, breaking down the entire finance. With this, we'll be taking the last question, everyone, because we're already over time. And we would love to talk more and more with everyone, but really sorry about it. There was one question that was already there. So I'm going to ask it. And for them, those who want to get in touch with Anhad or Petpooja or anyone, just fill in the form, or on the WhatsApp group, you will get the form. So you can just fill it that time. And we will be telling you about our next webinars very soon. So just 1 minute about that. Last question for Anhad for today is going to be on, of course, the matter Swiggy again. Someone had a question, is it beneficial to go for paid ads on Zomato and Swiggy, as people go to Zomato and Swiggy to just check about restaurants' need of good ranking? What is your opinion on it?
So I had a meeting with Zomato, and a lot of the data shows what you guys are saying, but they are heavily trying to work on new discoveries. And part of that budget that I spoke about, the 40% budget, some of it needs to go into the discoverable aspect of business. I think it is good to invest in new growth discoveries by Zomato and Swiggy and other platforms as well, but give it breaks. Like if let's say in May and June, you invest in a new market discovery, shut it off in July, shut it off in August, give it a break, see how much response have you gotten from that versus how much are you generating now. So it is good to have some sort of a budget dedicated to that as well.
Makes sense. I think absolutely makes sense. And you need to, unfortunately, you need to. At least right now,
Yeah.
it will not become like the most favorite brand in a neighborhood. That can happen after you start following all the steps I think you've given today. So with this, everyone, we are going to end today's webinar. Of course, the Q&A couldn't be taken longer anymore because it's too late. Everyone has to get back to work because the restaurant industry now starts. Um, so
Yes.
yeah, I mean, that is what happens. At this time, we experimented with the new time. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's webinar. Thank you so much, Anhad, for taking out time on such a short notice and joining us today here and giving a bang-on great webinar. And of course, for all the people who are there, we have something very exciting with Anhad coming soon. Just stay tuned. I'm not going to say anything else anymore. Please give us a thumbs up, a good feedback if you liked it. If you liked today's webinar, if you want to know more about today's webinar or any other webinars, and fill in the form if there is anything else. Thank you again. I'm your host, Shivani, and I'm going to see you again next week. And by the way, next week's webinar is very interesting because it is about Petpooja. Because a lot of you have been asking us, there are so many questions about Petpooja, what we do about it. So we listen to you. Don't worry. We are bringing you a webinar just on Petpooja now. So thank
Awesome.
you, everyone. Thank you so much, Anhad, for coming today.
Thank you so much. Super happy to be part of this. And please execute on some things and love being part of this with everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anhad. Thank you, everyone. We're going to just stay for 2 more minutes. So if you have to fill the form, have to write down anything, you can just do that. Thank you, Anhad. We will not take any more time of yours. And thank you, everyone, for being a great audience.